Tonight, secret emails are giving new clues about the former superintendent of Kansas City Public Schools' abrupt resignation. Investigator
Russ Potasic uncovered John Covington's confidential talks with Detroit. Russ?
To this day, John Covington says he didn't apply for the job in Detroit until August, one day after that final fight with the school board in Kansas City. But when we told him what we'd found, he acknowledged he'd been talking to Detroit for months. Dr. John Covington's deal in Detroit is worth up to $1.5 million over 4 years. But it's the how and when that deal came together that troubles the Kansas City Public Schools Board. These are the documents we've received from Detroit. We obtained the Detroit Public School documents through the Freedom of Information Act, including key emails. The documents show the same month Covington spoke about the district's future in his State of the Schools address. In June, Dr. Covington was interviewing in Detroit. That's at least 11 weeks before board members say he abruptly resigned, claiming micromanagement and denying a job anywhere else.
I then said, "Are you applying for any vacancy anywhere?" And he said no.
So these documents contradict all that?
They do.
So he's emailing his resume on the 13th.
June 13th? Yeah. I saw the same thing.
And we set up a lunch on the 14th.
What Kansas City school board members heard in August followed a statement Dr. Covington issued the previous October, saying he was fully committed, and despite all the rumors, he was not communicating with anyone about employment.
We were manipulated as part of an exit strategy.
School board member Joseph Jackson believes Dr. Covington may have anticipated state action.
He may have probably already known that, and he didn't want to be superintendent of a district that lost its accreditation.
School board members say Dr. Covington said he was resigning not because of a job, but because of board micromanagement. Board member Arthur Benson believed him.
He did not tell me the truth.
They didn't know then, 2 days later, he'd be appointed chancellor of a troubled district in Michigan. Covington didn't respond to our interview requests, but a Detroit public relations firm issued his response, saying although he was approached numerous times about jobs, in each instance, his answer was an emphatic no. Covington cites an increasingly strained relationship with the school board and says it was clear that the situation in Kansas City was becoming untenable. Benson says, based on Covington's word, he blamed school board president Eric West. He even called for and temporarily got West to resign.
I voted to accept his resignation. If we'd known all of this, he wouldn't have resigned and I wouldn't have voted to accept it.
Worse, school board members believe Dr. Covington's resignation and complaints of board mismanagement expedited state action, stripping the district's accreditation and today's possibility of a complete state takeover.
That distraction has played a significant role in escalating the conversation with the state Board of Education.
Our investigation uncovered emails showing on June 9th, Detroit Public Schools were already scheduling Dr. Covington for a 3-hour interview. This email schedules a 12:30 meeting stating that Dr. Covington's flight lands at 11:30 June 14th. This email says Dr. Covington and all applicants requested confidentiality. This August email from a negotiator says in speaking with John Covington, he can rearrange his schedule to be there on the 11th. That's 2 weeks before he resigned. In his response to the investigators, Covington says on August 22nd, he decided whatever happened, I would not continue as superintendent. On the 23rd, I applied for the position. On the 24th, I tendered my resignation. On the 26th, Friday, I flew to Detroit and interviewed. That's the same day he got the job.
These documents thoroughly contradict the notion that we received at the time that there was not an ongoing job search.
I can say personally, I left that session believing that he was leaving because of micromanaging.
Covington's statement describes the board's relations as an irreversible downward spiral. Covington acknowledges in early June he agreed to visit Detroit and ongoing discussions, but says, I did not make a formal application for the job. School board members think the state believed that too, and that these emails could now give new credibility to the Kansas City Public Schools Board and debunk Covington's complaints.
I think these documents counter all those allegations and make a large part of what is driving the state's desire to take over baseless.
They believe now, because of these emails, there is a stronger possibility of avoiding a state takeover.
If this can help bring closure to a conversation that reaffirms confidence in our collective capacity as a community to get this done, then it's a story worth telling.
We tried telling that story to officials at the State Board of Education, but they didn't return our calls. And tonight, the school board is under increasing pressure to turn the entire district over to the state.
And that could happen as early as January 1st, right?
That's what the board commissioner wants, the state board commissioner wants, but the local school board district doesn't want to do that. They say the state doesn't right now have a viable plan.
So we will see what happens. Thank you.
Great.